Hello and welcome all to this session where we are going to talk about MQTT, one of the very popular protocol used in IoT applications, and then we'll talk about Eclipse PAHO, which is the implementation of MQTT protocol by Eclipse IoT project. So let's get started with MQTT first. So MQTT is it's called Message Queue Telemetry Transport. It is designed by IBM. It was designed by IBM in 90s, and it is a lightweight messaging protocol based on publish subscribe model. MQTT uses a client server architecture where the clients such as IoT devices, sensor, and all those things they connect to MQTT server called brokers and publish message to the server topics. So in MQTT basically you have a centralized broker called MQTT server or broker, and you define topics in that broker, and then publishers will publish message to that topic in the broker, and so the broker will forward that message to the clients who have subscribed to that topic. MQTT is well suited for constrained environments where the device have limited processing and memory resources and network bandwidth is low. So a typical use case for MQTT is definitely IoT, Internet of Things, where you have low memory, low processing power devices, sensors, and all those things which needs to transmit some message. So MQTT is perfect fit for those kind of scenarios. So I'm continuing with the MQTT discussion. MQTT, as I said, is an extremely lightweight messaging protocol. Its subscribe architecture is designed to open and easy to implement. Single MQTT server can support up to thousands of remote clients. The architecture, the specification of MQTT makes it very lightweight, very low memory and processing power footprint point of view. So this is the architecture of MQTT. How it works: basically, you have a centralized message broker where the publishers will publish the data and the subscriber will subscribe to the topic on the broker, and they will receive the event data whatever was published by the subscribers. So MQTT publish subscribe model is publish subscribe or pub sub model is identical to any existing enterprise messaging system. So you have different messaging systems like WebServer MQ, ActiveMQ, and all those things. So publish subscribe model is used across different messaging system already, but main advantage of MQTT has over fully blown enterprise messaging system that it's very low footprint, and so it makes it ideal for developing IoT applications with small sensors, devices, and other low capacity things. So that's the major advantage of MQTT. For example, Facebook uses MQTT for its messenger product on mobile platform to ensure that battery usage by this application is minimized. So that's a real life example of how MQTT is being used in real life applications. So further continuing with the MQTT protocol itself, MQTT its PubSub models provides one-to-many message delivery. It uses TCP/IP, and MQTT offers three message delivery quality of services parameters. One is at most once, at least once, and exactly once. So depending upon which quality of service parameter you choose, message will be delivered to the subscriber accordingly. Uh, these QoS are met even in the case of network, publisher, or client failures. MQTT provides very simple specification and APIs, so making it easier for developers to work with MQTT based products. It's not a very complex API, very set of very minimal APIs. So for example, most important APIs are connect, publish, subscribe, unsubscribe, and disconnect. And message header is short in MQTT, and smallest packet size is 2 bytes, making it ideal to small and constrained device. So MQTT's specification, it put very the size of overall message and especially header is very important in MQTT because it is intended to be used by small devices, sensor, etc. So they kept it to the minimal, which is 2 bytes. And MQTT is a publish subscribe model. Sender and receivers are decoupled from each other. There is no direct connectivity between these two, so they are decoupled. And MQTT doesn't restrict the format of data to be in any particular format. There's allowing flexibility. You can send pretty much any kind of format with MQTT. There is no restriction. And both commercial and open sources MQTT based broker products are available. These includes IBM MQ, WebSphere MQ, Eclipse IoT Mosquito Server, Active MQ, Hive MQ, etc. So now let's discuss something about security in MQTT. MQTT supports TLS, SSL, Transport Layer Security, SSL. So TLS and SSL are cryptographic protocols which use a handshake mechanism to negotiate various parameters to create a secure connection between client and server. So we all know SSL. So it's used for cryptography. After the handshake is complete, an encrypted communication between client and server is established, and no attacker can uh, eavesdrop any part of the communication. Server provides X509 certificate typically used by a trusted authority, which clients use to verify the identity of the server. So MQTT supports SSL, which is used in almost all the real life applications for encryption. But problem is that TLS has its own overheads. The communication overheads of TLS handshake can be significant if MQTT client connections are expected to be short-lived. So because when you are using SSL, there is quite a bit of handshake involved. So if your MQTT client connections are short-lived or getting disconnected quite often, then that handshake overheads can be a bit too much for your devices. So if you are facing that scenario, make sure you use the alternative like encrypting, hashing payloads, etc. if the overhead is killing your device. And for authentication, client IDs, passwords, etc. are part of MQTT APIs. For authorization, MQTT specification leave it to the individual brokers how you implement it. For example, HiveMQ, you can have authorization of whether one publisher can publish to the topic and all those things. So depending upon your requirement, you may have to choose a different broker. Authorization as such is covered in the specification, but how it is implemented, it varies from different vendor to vendor. Okay, so now let's go to Eclipse PAHO discussion, the second part of this session. So Eclipse PAHO is basically, as I pointed out in the beginning of this presentation, Eclipse PAHO is the implementation of MQTT protocol by Eclipse IoT. So it's a set of APIs which you can use to communicate with the MQTT broker. There is a open source MQTT broker available from Eclipse, which is Eclipse Mosquito. So you have a broker which is Eclipse Mosquito. You have publishers, you have subscribers. So publishers can use Eclipse PAHO MQTT client library to publish the message to the Mosquito server, Mosquito broker, and subscriber can use the Eclipse PAHO library to get that message from the broker. So Eclipse Mosquito is an MQTT broker. Its main responsibility is to provide a communication channel between publisher and subscribers. Any publisher using the Eclipse PAHO MQTT client API can publish the message, and it is the responsibility of the broker to deliver all the messaging arriving on a topic to all the interested clients. So as a subscriber, I have to subscribe to the topic from where I want to receive the message, and then broker will once I have subscribed to that topic, broker will deliver the message which those messages which arrive on that particular topic where I have subscribed. So continuing with the Eclipse PAHO, any client who wants to publish or receive message from MQTT broker Mosquito can use one of the following two classes. So this is just the brief API description of Eclipse MQTT, Eclipse PAHO MQTT API. So there are two classes in this package. One is MQTT client and another is MQTT async client. So if you want to get asynchronous notifications or you want to do asynchronous operations, you have to use async client. Otherwise, normally MQTT client you can use, and then you pass the address of the MQTT broker and unique client ID, so you will be connected. Once the instance of any of these two classes are created, use the connect method to connect to the MQTT broker. So once you are connected, you can publish the message. So for publishing, use publish message to publish message to a specific topic which is running on the MQTT broker, and you can also specify the QoS you want, at most once, at least once, and exactly once. And once you are connected, you can also so one is publish, another is subscribe. So you can also subscribe using subscribe and get the message using MQTT client APIs. So subscriber can start receiving from the broker by using subscribe method to subscribe to one or more topics. MQTT broker will send messages on this topic to the client, and whenever a message is arrived in a topic, client will be notified via callback method called message arrived. So it's like your normal say GMS systems where own message method will be called. So whenever a message is arrived in the topic, you have to implement this this method message arrived, and it will be called accordingly. So at high level, these are the most basic APIs of Eclipse Power MQTT client. There are some helper classes also, and if you look at the Java doc, there are sample packages and sample how it works. Everything it is it is also defined in that section. It's given in that Java doc site of the Eclipse Power. You can have a look at that also. So that's it for this session. So this was discussion around MQTT and Eclipse Power. Hope you liked it, and if you have any queries, any comments, just leave in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys very much for your time.